What is up, you guys? We are super excited to announce our new partnership with SaberSim. For those of you who aren't familiar, SaberSim is a DFS optimizer and projection system used by some of the top DFS players in the industry. It provides some of the best ownership and scoring projections on the market, and now you will have a chance to bundle it with an RPS subscription for our low price. For a limited time only, you'll get both RunPure's great content along with the SaberSim product and projections, typically valued over $190 a month, combined for our low cost just by using the promo code SABER15 BigT. How dope of a deal is this?
This is going to be the best deal in the industry. It's going to get you all the content on the site and the optimizer. So you got a nice intro price. This also includes the bet side, which we have one of the best bets teams in the industry. Also, the optimizer is going to be accessed directly on the site now. And eventually, we're even going to have the core plays directly on the optimizer within the next couple weeks. So another really nice bonus.
All right, so why don't you show us how quick you can knock out over 150 lineups using the SaberSim optimizer?
Yeah, this optimizer is going to be very nice on the site. Tons of new options. If you want to look at the screen, we got SaberSim projections, RPS projections right next to each other. You have options like being able to do the average of both, which is nice. Obviously, I like the RunPure projections, but the SaberSim projections are awesome too, and it gives you a nice balance between the two to form some of your own opinions, which I love to do. As you scroll to the right, you got other stuff like ownership projections, which comes from SaberSim. Eventually, we might have more of our stuff on the site too, but SaberSims are awesome. Gives you another data point when you're building lineups. And then as you work your way to the right, we got the ability to see upside of players. 85th percentile, 99th percentile. You can see the upside of some of these guys. And then just to prove the point, you can build 150 lineups very quickly. Go up here to build lineups. Gives you a bunch of cool options that we'll go through as we start getting used to this and putting content out. But you got GPP, cash, multiplier, satellite option. For this, we're just going to do GPP. I'm going to show you how quick we can make 150 teams. But also, you got single entry in here, 3 max, 20 max. Just a ton of cool options to show you guys as we get going. How many entrants are in the field you're playing, put that in there. Bunch of cool stuff like correlation, ownership, variance with the sims. Tons of stuff that you're going to be able to use. I'm going to run 150 teams here and show you guys just how quickly you can run 150 with this optimizer. So as you can see, 150 teams took me about 30 seconds. And once you have more time, you can play around with the numbers, really get them where you want them. But I was just trying to show how convenient it is. You got your optimal team right here. Shows you how much salary you used, projected score, SaberSim score, which kind of shows you your upside type thing. Tons of stuff on here. Total ownership, 267%. So a chalky team right there. But again, as we get more comfortable with the system, you'll be able to tinker a lot more. And tons of stuff up here too. If you want to play an upside team, you can click 99th percentile. It's going to run again for you. Give you an upside team here, more upside. Tons of options though. As we get going, we're going to do tons of content. All of our shows are going to be using this. I'm going to be using it personally to build my tournament teams. Super excited to get going with SaberSim and get this partnership going to make the content we do even better going forward.
And just a reminder, you can access all of the RunPure premium content for all sports, along with SaberSim optimizer and projection system for the low monthly price for a limited time. Just use the promo code SABER15 while signing up to get this deal. Don't wait, sign up now, and of course, let's RunPure.
Simon, get us in here. It is the NFL Spread Pod. Is it week 13 or it's week 14 already? Is that true? 14, 15, 16, 17, 5 more weeks. That's it. But we knew this is what happens coming into it. We know it goes fast. Rubio, whatever. Title, last week on the show. You gave a shout out because your 2 teachers growing up listened to this show. And I'd just like to know if they contacted you or they don't listen anymore.
Well, you do know the answer because I told you before the show.
Right, but
yeah.
you're supposed to just play along and be like, oh, yeah, let me tell
exactly
you the answer.
Come on,
Good God, Title. Jeez, man. You know what?
No,
Teacher listens. Next story. Rubio, you're up.
What do you mean? I kind of want to hear Title. I want to hear Title. Come on.
So do I. So do I.
They yes. So yeah, hey, this is real life podcast. Yeah, people know. I'll be straight up with the people. Asked about real life, told you a little story. All right. Anyway, to this story. Yes, I said when I was talking about the story last week, I assume most of you heard, I made sure to say, Mr. Hogan, if you're listening, DM me on Twitter since I know he follows in that. And he did DM me, and it was very nice to hear from him. He said, Mr. Dowgs, which is the other teacher I shouted out, said he called Mr. Hogan, the other teacher, first hour when he was in class to say the Young Guns pod finally gave me a shout out. So then he turned it on in front of the class, and my sister, I think, was in the class, or she brought it up. He played it during her class maybe, and I guess a lot of people asked what I did for a living and blah, blah, blah. But, hey, I told you they were cool teachers. Mr. Hogan's the man. And I forgot one other shout out, Mr. Herman. I don't know if you listened to this, which is why I didn't think of it. That was my Spanish teacher, which I said my least two favorite subjects, Spanish and science, but they made it fun. Mr. Herman, the third one. So I don't know what you're biting your fist.
Because all I want to say is his first name, Pee-wee.
It's not.
I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to do it. I was biting my hand, dude. And
I had to ask.
Yeah. Rubio, anything is exciting because now Title probably looks like a super stud to his little sister.
That's exactly what I was thinking, is that these sixth graders are going to find out.
My sister does not
Title's
care.
His sixth grader is going to find out Title's Instagram. He's going to be getting, hey, do I start Zeke or Pollard this week? Or, hey, what's the move at running back? Like, I just can't wait. It's going to be so nice. He's going to get like 20 DMs from random sixth graders. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
That will not happen. And I think it's eighth grade. Yeah, it is eighth grade. I said
that's
seventh,
even better.
maybe eighth.
Because you know what? They're going to listen to this. They're going to be like, I'm smarter than that guy now. Like,
they are not listening. It's just the teachers.
You sure? I mean, I don't know, man. You're kind of a celebrity now. You're like that local celeb. Everyone knows that you're the fantasy football guy in that school now. Like, oh, you got a legend to live up to.
It's true. Also, they could have said you're a D-gen, and then everybody just thinks you're a D-gen.
Well, that's a given.
I mean, that's possible too. You know what I'm saying? I got a hernia. Less than 3% of hernia people have hernia that I have. This is what happens when you get old. It fucking sucks. Blow out your Achilles. Now I got a hernia surgery coming up. That's going to suck. It's going to be the worst, man. It's going to be the worst. Hernia? And then it was from lifting too. So I just need to stop doing that. Really sucks. So I'll be out for 3 or 4 days at the end of the month.
I thought you said weeks.
Huh?
I thought you said weeks on the show because I was listening up to Lock Show. So
maybe
in
a few weeks.
I heard you wrong.
In a few
weeks, couple days.
Yeah,
gotcha.
That's going to happen. So that was not fun. I'd like to tell you it was a sex injury, but it wasn't. It was just that's when I started figuring out that I had something wrong, and we're going to take care of it that way.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's where I figured it out, though. I'm like, what is this bump? It's awful. Rubio, anything else going on in your life? Are you preparing for your trip to London? Have you bought the ring yet, or you continue to just push it back and say that you're not getting married? It just doesn't make sense to travel halfway across the world and then you not proposing to your girlfriend.
Doesn't make sense. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? You're not allowed to just go enjoy some London, enjoy some nice time in Europe?
Nope.
I mean, I'm taking her to a Crystal Palace, Liverpool game. I'm going to Chelsea
Is
Stadium.
she excited about that?
Yeah, she's a huge soccer fan. So, like,
really?
Yeah, big time.
That's why you're banging. Okay. You totally asked her to marry you at the game then. That's really classy.
Oh, yeah, that's what I heard too, especially like during a halftime show.
Mm-hmm.
Like just really random. Speaking of halftime shows, did you see that halftime show in the Philly game the other day? They're throwing knives at the poor girl. Oh, what? Crazy. You didn't see that? The Philadelphia 76ers game, they were throwing knives. This lady was like spinning in this like box and holding a balloon in her mouth, and the guy was throwing just razor sharp knives at her. It was just batshit.
You think that was an actual fan? Then no.
No, not a fan. But
it was this lady, his compadre.
Yeah,
I thought you literally meant like fans were chucking knives.
That would be awesome too.
No.
We need more of that. We need more of that. We need more fans chucking knives at people. Title, anything else going on in your world before we dive into this NFL slate?
75 degrees here today. It was absolutely beautiful. I was able to get outside, play some basketball, going home for Christmas break in a couple weeks.
It's been a weird winter out here in Denver too, man. It was like in the 60s and 70s until 3 days ago. And
yeah,
now,
what's it now?
Right, it's probably in the 30s.
No,
getting
I meant,
our
like, what was
first
it
snow.
today?
I've never seen. Oh, it was cold today. It was cold today, but we had a month of like perfect spring weather.
I mean,
Oh, it's
75
45
was
right now.
nuts.
That's not
70
bad.
No,
Not
that's
even-
not bad.
Yeah, it's 45. It's gonna be 55 tomorrow, and a little bit of snow. So
High of 80 tomorrow in Austin. It's
Woo.
absolutely beautiful.
oh yeah, you're in Texas. I kept thinking you were in Milwaukee. I was like, God, that is.
What?
Isn't it nice in Austin, like almost all year round, except for like late December, January, February?
Well, yeah, I think so. But I mean, right now it's the early December, 75. But my question is, how did you think Milwaukee was 75 right now?
It was 75 in Denver, dude. That's all.
No,
Denver's worse than Milwaukee in the winter.
no,
Sometimes.
I don't. Sometimes maybe, but not. There's no chance it's ever been that warm in December. But yes, Austin, very warm.
It was never this warm here in Denver. This is the first time it's ever happened. So riveting conversation for our listeners today.
Riveting.
Unfortunately, I'm going to forget to tell Simon to say fast forward through this part, but since you made it, let's just go on to the slate. Can have a good time there. There's some ugliness. There's a few really good games on this slate. And I'm excited about this Bills Bucks game. Do you want to go in reverse order? Let's go in reverse order today, guys. Let's get crazy. That's what I want to do. Let's start with Buffalo at Tampa Bay. Nice implied total, like 50.
No, this isn't the Hardwood show. We don't start with the
what the
morning
fuck is
wood
this?
show. We don't start with
go
games.
position by position.
Yes.
You know what also is weird? I'm sober for this show tonight because I have to drive. So maybe I'm just out of my element actually being sober on this one show.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
messing
my-
you up. Sober is your new messed up.
Yeah, I don't. That's a real problem, isn't it? Okay, then we're gonna go quarterback. That's what we're gonna do first. Whoever raises their hand first gets the first one. Does anyone want to raise their hand? There you go, title. Now that's the initiative I'm talking about, and that doesn't surprise me that Rubio did not raise his hand.
I like you better when
Quarterback.
you're drunk or high.
I want to ask you about one guy in particular, and he's the most expensive guy in the slate on DK. It's Pat Mahomes at 8K. This was the same idiot franchise that decided to play cover 3 against Pat Mahomes. If they do it again, he's going to end up putting up 35 points. But in tournaments, can you trust Patrick Mahomes this week? Because he has not really been that good this season.
Not for 8K. There's no reason that I'm going to go up there. I mean, Big T tweeted about it. I kind of agree. Not as to the full extent, but like he said, pants down because I don't have to research quarterback this week. Taysom Hill's 5'6". He's 7'7" on FanDuel. Like, I don't know what DK is doing. 5'6", Taysom Hill against the Jets. Sign me up.
Well, I mean, even in tournaments, like there's
Yeah,
got to be alternatives.
I mean, yeah, sure. Like, if you want to go in the same price range, Cam Newton's going to get a huge discount. He played awful, but now he gets the Falcons. I think that's a fine pivot. And then Justin Herbert 7-1, Dak 6-7 would be my other two favorites. Herbert's had been very good. He gets the Giants team. He's in a dome. So, like in December, we got to look at weather. Dome games that are warm like Tampa Bay definitely mean a lot. So I think Herbert's fine 7-1. Dak 6-7 I think is fine too. But 5-6 for Taysom Hill, that's going to get me some studs. That's what's standing out to me.
All right. Rubio, this show's going to be over in 20 minutes if you just talk about Taysom Hill.
God,
Oh,
wouldn't
that-
you love that? Hey,
No, I
agree
wouldn't.
with
I actually
Taysom
want
Hill
to
here.
extend this. I actually have somewhere to go, but I don't care.
Oh, how lovely of you, Holden. You know what? I'll extend it a little bit. I'll carry the
Thank
load
you.
a little bit. So I agree with title on Taysom Hill. Next question. No, okay, I'm kidding. So Taysom Hill, it's just a matchup. You get to run him naked. So I was talking to Mangone and Bobby, and they were upset. Well, Bobby wasn't that upset, but Mangone was vehemently upset that I ran Gardner Minshew naked last week. He says you can't do that.
I agree with Mangone, by the way.
It's nah. Mangone's wrong. Mangone's wrong. You're wrong too. So when someone is an obvious misprice, as you kind of allude to with Taysom Hill being a misprice, compared to his price on FanDuel and stuff, and his ability to just get it done on the ground, I mean, I'm playing him for his rushing upside here, and I'm playing Taysom Hill without the what's the word? The ball and chain. I don't have to stack him with wide receiver, and I actually really enjoy that. And Gardner Minshew was 4K. I didn't feel like I had to pair him with anyone. The Eagles have a lot of weapons, and ended up being Dallas Goedert, but. There's a lot of
those two.
There's a lot of people with an optimal lineup who are very close to an optimal lineup, like Tambo, who got second running Gardner Minshew.
That's a $75. That's a $75-man tournament. Though. That's not.
He still won $150K with it. Don't let the narrative get in the way of a good story.
I mean, that's literally tournaments. Like that's.
Single entries and stuff. I think it was very viable. Like I do, and that's why I love Taysom this week, is because I can just play him completely naked, not have to worry about playing a wide receiver, a tight end with him. I can bank on those rushing touchdowns, those red zone carries inside the 5-yard line. But if I have to branch out, I mean, Dak Prescott 6.7. This Cowboys offense can definitely click. We saw it just a few weeks ago against Atlanta when they blew out the Falcons and stuff. Just under 7K Dak Prescott, it's really hard to hate on. And for 1,100 more, you can really get some great tournament stacks. One last name, just to be a little bit different and stuff. It's not really someone that I'm loving, but Lamar at 7.4, another guy who can run naked, another guy who can get it done on the ground. Division matchup, the Ravens have looked absolutely shite, but man, I just like anyone, an unknown Lamar Jackson. It's just something I can get behind.
Well, let's just go through these guys play by play here, because Brady and Allen, I think Brady will get some ownership this week against Buffalo, especially coming off the week he just had. I think Fournette's probably the way I'm going to go, maybe pair him with a wide receiver. I don't see having Brady this week. Can you guys make the case for Josh Allen at Tampa Bay? Justin Herbert was somebody I liked earlier in the week. Then Mike Williams is on COVID. We got Keenan Allen on the COVID. I don't want to mess with that anymore. Russell Wilson with a great matchup against Houston. I think the mallet finger he had, I think there's no question that's completely screwed up his game. They don't have a running game, and I wonder if he's going to air it out against Houston. Those are the only other guys I would really want you guys to talk about. So pick one or two guys: Allen, Brady, Herbert, Wilson. Any of them?
Yeah. So my two guys I'm going to pick is Allen and Wilson. FanDuel, the thing is, FanDuel, like, you can pay it, like, Taysom 7.7. Lamar's only 7.9. Wow. Allen and Brady, like, you can easily pay up for the top guys on FanDuel. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I have Lamar, Mahomes, Brady. It's so easy to play him over there. DraftKings does a better job of pricing. But I'll talk about Josh Allen. He's 7.8. He's going to be in Tampa, which we expect it to be warm. I haven't looked at the weather, but I'm just expecting that. I mean, he's the highest raw points quarterback on the slate. If you've watched my show, though, if you watch Tuesday's show, the cast show with us, I talk about Josh Allen every week. I'm the most bullish on him probably than anyone. So, yeah, I think Josh Allen's in a great spot. I really like him. And Russell Wilson, 6.6 on DK, 7.5 on FanDuel. You're right. Like, they have no running game, A. B, yes, like, Russell Wilson was hurt in Green Bay. I thought he was going to be fine, which is part of the reason I stacked it. He was clearly still hurt. Now he gets the nuts matchup against Houston in a dome, and DK and Lockett have good prices too, which is the easy stack. I really think Russell Wilson is a bounce back. I'm going to go to him. I mean, he looked great last week too. Like, he carried that whole team to a win. I think Russell Wilson makes sense too. Probably going to be more on FanDuel though, because I'll have a lot of Taysom on DraftKings with that price.
Yeah, Russell is 6'6" on DraftKings. And even though he had a good game last week, he still only had 17.7 DK points.
Yeah, it was better real life than –
It's just – I don't think – I got to tell you, man, I don't think there's any doubt that the injury is bothering him. I think it was that LA game that he got hurt, and that was the first time they went down, because 3 of his first 4 games he was in the 20s. And now he just can't even sniff it. So that's interesting. Well, against Washington, he had a decent game too.
It's the nuts spot against Houston in a dome too. Like, if there's going to be a week, this is the week Russ got to get right.
They can't run either. They have no running game. Yeah. It's just throw. All right, Rubio, anybody else in the quarterback position you can highlight?
Well, I'm going to be high on the Bills this week, the receivers, that is. So I kind of think, because the Tampa Bay is one of the worst secondaries there is in the league. So you have Stephon Diggs, who I'm probably going to be interested in quite a bit. Cole Beasley could be in line for a huge game. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Josh Allen and the Bills threw for almost 50 times this week, if not more. I'm interested to see what the passing attempts prop is on Josh Allen. But this could be a game where they just drop back a million times and these receivers get there with ease just because of sheer volume. And so I'm going to be interested in Allen just because I'm going to have so much of the wide receivers. But he is definitely on my radar. If I have to really spend up, I got ample amount of salary, I'm going to have Diggs to begin with anyway. I don't want to run a quarterback naked. I mean, Allen with Diggs, and Beasley with running it back with like a Godwin or something. It's definitely in play. That game stack is definitely there. And so, in turn, my other quarterback out of those that you listed, Tom Brady, just because I really like that game environment in total. I know that the Bills just got ran on for 46 times and looked absolutely shit on Monday night and pissed me off completely. But I mean, they're going to be giving up points. There's going to be a lot of points in this game. And they're going to throw the ball a ton.
Okay, let's move on to the running back position. A lot of question marks as we sit here early in the week. Eli Mitchell, concussion. That he's got Cincinnati this week if he plays. Tony Pollard is now questionable. He's got something going on with his foot. Zeke has a great price on FanDuel. Javonte would be a lock button at 5'9", but Melvin Gordon returned to practice, so he's limited this week. Jamal Williams was dog shit last week. Can we go back to him? With Swift probably being out this week. Rubio, I'll go to you first here. The running back position this week, Kamara's coming back too. For me, like, how do we just go away from – how do we ignore what Lenny's been doing? Mr. Fournette, he is just on fire right now, 44, 22 DK points. He's got, let's see here, 9, 6, 8, 8 targets the last 4 weeks. The guy he's got a floor because he's involved in the passing game. I love me some Lenny.
I mean, you can't really ignore it, 7-4. Like you said, the passing game involvement, it's not really that surprising because we know what he was able to do toward the end of last year and the beginning of the season. But 7.4, Brady's looking to him every time out of the flat. They're running the ball inside the 10 a ton. And it's just kind of surprising to me. It's just whenever they get the ball inside the 10, they're almost like, hey, let's run it 3 times. At least when I watched the game against the Colts, it felt like we're going to bully the Colts and we're going to score by running the ball. And Leonard Fournette has been a beneficiary of that. He's obviously – I think he's the top projected running back on the slate in terms of just raw points on some sites here. So, 7-4, you're not even paying that much of a premium. He's going to be very popular, and he's going to be making a lot of sense. We just saw Damian Harris and Ramador Stevenson run for over 200 yards combined or almost 200 yards combined. So it's definitely something I can get behind and probably, eat some chalk. It's good chalk in my opinion as of right now just because –
good chalk.
Yeah, his passing game involvement basically boosts his floor to like 11 or 12 is what it feels like lately. So I know it's kind of a higher floor, but it's just crazy. Javonte Williams, I mean, God, can Melvin Gordon miss this week? Please. Please. I mean, we just saw Javonte Williams get almost all those carries. I wasn't worried that Boone would come in after a drive, maybe every 2 drives, but Boone was there just to only spell him briefly. When Boone came in, ran the ball really well, and then went back to the sideline. That's incredibly promising for a guy under 6K, a guy we know has a ton of just amazing talent as an 8-point favorite. If Melvin Gordon misses, I mean, Javonte Williams has to be one of the favorite plays on the slate. Not to take up too much of the time, but yes, I would go back to Jamal Williams at 5.5. Just something that, failures happen. We saw what he did when Swift went down in the Thanksgiving game. He's able to get there in the pass game if they're down by 8 and stuff. But then the Lions ended up winning that game, correct? Their first win of the season. So even though they were chasing late in the game, you would have expected Jamal Williams to get there, a little bit more in the passing work. But I think this could be another chase script where if they get down big, it can only benefit him.
Yeah, I'll throw out Dontrell Hilliard as a deep sleeper. Probably have him in one of my 5 or 6 lineups. Just an explosive player right now. And Tennessee's at Jacksonville. Hilliard got himself 13 touches, ended up with almost 20 points. I don't think anybody will be on Dontrell Hilliard, and he's just a stab in the dark as of right now. I'm just looking at him as we tape this Wednesday night. Title, running back. So I'll ask you. I'm going to start with a guy. Kamara's coming off the off IR or whatever. He's playing this week. There's going to be no Mark Ingram, and he's taking on the Jets. How do we not go to Kamara?
Taysom Hill, Kamara's only averaged 4 catches his career with Taysom Hill. It's a little concerning. Yes, who knows if that'll stay. I don't know. There's a decent sample size with it. It's a little risky, I think. It's not the same Kamara. So Austin Eckler is my favorite spend up, 8.3K. Good script against the Giants. I think he'll be heavily involved. We've seen his ceiling. And the same game, as bad as Saquon Barkley's been, he's 6K. He gets a Chargers team that just gets gashed by the run. I think Saquon makes some sense at 6K. Antonio Gibson also at 6K. Is J.D. McKissick going to be back? Is that
it's up in the air right now. He's got that concussion, and I think he was back on the field, at least walking through, but no definitive answer on that.
I mean, even if he is in, like Antonio Gibson, I mean, he's definitely still RB1. The 2-minute drill, yes, he loses out on that, which kind of stinks, but he's been so involved lately. They've force-fed him the ball. I still think 6K is too cheap. Leonard Fournette, of course, you can play him. Elijah Mitchell, if he does play, I mean, the guy's getting all the work in a run-first system against Cincinnati, 6.7K. Javonte Williams, yeah, he's a free square if Melvin misses. The last guy I'll mention, it's a little risky, but, like, he's just been so good, is Cordero Patterson. The guy's just a complete stud when he touches the ball. The problem is they don't always give him the ball, but that's the last guy I want to mention.
Mike Davis, I think, had a touchdown last week.
Yeah, gross.
Gross. Yeah, gross. That's exactly what it was. Mangone and I talked about Zeke 6'9" on FanDuel, especially if Pollard is limited. I don't know about the upside there is the only thing with Zeke because he's definitely hampered. Could that be a cash play if Pollard is limited?
Yeah, I think, yeah, FanDuel is 6'9", so like it's Hilliard's 7K, Zeke is 6'9" on FanDuel holding. Like
Hilliard's a DK play only.
No, I know. I'm just like when Mango and I were on this. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
No, I 100%. I mean, Zeke's still banged up too, though. I will like if Zeke becomes mega chalk or somehow popular, I'm not playing a Zeke in tournaments. If he's not very popular, I'll play him in tournaments. Is kind of how I'm looking at it, but he's definitely still hurt.
The dustiest of dustiest plays. If Robinson is out, would we even think about Carlos Hyde? 150.
And what's his price?
4.6.
Like
4.6.
I think he has to be in consideration a little bit. I mean, I don't know if he's out. If he's the guy, like, would he handle what? Do you think he'd handle 80% of snaps?
15 touches?
Yeah,
maybe?
he definitely would get 80%. Because remember we had this situation on Thursday Night Football earlier this year, and Hyde got a ton of work.
I mean, 80% of snaps at 4.6, like it's hard to say no right now.
I know. I'm not going to count him out.
The thing is, the running back, like you mentioned it earlier, like I feel like it's going to be so different on Sunday, which is why I take it you guys are watching this show. You watch the morning wood, but I just like running back so up in the air this week, whereas last week it was such a condensed pool is how I see it.
You know, it was awful watching Adrian Peterson score a touchdown.
And he's still he averaged 1.6 yards on the ground.
1.45 with a touchdown. You got your 7.5 points. So
yeah,
totally awesome. Way to go. Why do people keep bringing Amir Abdullah up to me? Is he supposed to get run with the Panthers or something?
Talking to the wrong people.
Yeah, we're good.
He got a lot of touches kind of like late in that game when Calf went out. Just kind of – I can't get behind it at all. But
okay.
I don't think Hubbard's the alpha anymore.
I don't know. Don't play Abdullah.
I took a stab on Tevin Coleman last week. He ended up getting me like 10.5 points, but he's got New Orleans this week. I don't like anything on that side. Breida, no. I'm scrolling through here. Kareem Hunt is back. They're saying that he could be in the backfield with Nick Chubb. My sense, though, is that a lot of people are just going to get scared off of both of them. But then you remember earlier in the season, Hunt was just crushing, wasn't he? And he's 5'6" on DK. I think that's the better play because he's involved in the passing game. But that's an intriguing play that I will continue to think about as the week goes on because he really was kicking some ass at the beginning of the year before the injury.
I don't mind it.
Yeah, just to look at it. And I think that's about it. Yeah, we ran through the whole goddamn thing. Joe Mixon.
I was going to say, you have to mention Joe Mixon.
Coming off a rough week where he was in a smash spot, but before that, and he scores every week. I mean, you got a touchdown working for you. So why not against San Francisco? 8-5 FanDuel, 7-7 DK. Both of you guys. Title, you like them?
Yeah, I don't mind him. Austin Eckler is my favorite spend up, so I think I'll be there most, but I don't mind him. I mean, the game script should be perfect. The Giants absolutely suck. He has so much upside with Herbert dumping it off, but he also has the goal line carries too.
Two wide receivers out, probably.
Yeah, and that's the also thing. Do you think Keenan? You think he's?
Well, Allen's out. Like he's got the COVID.
He's confirmed. He's confirmed. Oh, I didn't. So Mike Williams. Yeah, and also like you get leverage off of Mike Williams. So like I didn't even. I thought he was. I didn't even see that for sure. Who's the other one that's going to be out?
Mike Williams, Keenan Allen.
Mike Williams is out too? What?
No, he's not out yet, but he was in contact and he's not vaccinated. So
then I'm talking about a chalk. See, I didn't even know this. Now that kind of changed. Now like maybe Guyton as wide receiver be a leverage pivot. If those two are out, Eckler's a stone lock. Like I was thinking Mike was in, which then he's not a stone lock, but I mean you got to play him if both of them are out.
Like Eckler just eats everything.
Yeah, like that's just I was thinking it would be a little more sneaky, and this is not sneaky play.
The other guy I guess I would bring up when we get tight would be Parham. I mean, that's a guy, he catches 3 passes and a touchdown, you're set. That would be a deeper dive, but there are going to be guys. You said it, Guyton. Who's the other kid they got? Palmer, right? Palmer's the rookie. So Williams still could play, but Keenan Allen, you know what? Keenan Allen, 98% out. Okay.
Yeah, I just saw it. Yeah, why? I don't know why I still haven't projected. That's weird. So yeah, I'm definitely.
You got a few days to take him out.
Yeah.
And Jared Cook too. I hate Jared Cook, but who knows?
Well, he's going to be popular. He's going to be like it's going to be just a Chargers onslaught if both of them are out, like in cash games, which is fine in tournaments. You make. I mean, we've seen what Foster Moreau did. Like Jared Cook's chalk. I'm done with that.
You're done with it, Rubio.
Yeah,
we're about to see how good Herbert is, man. I kind of want Mike Williams.
We know that answer. We know
he's got good wide receiver. I want to see how he works with Jalen Guyton, Andre Roberts, Joshua Palmer. I mean, yeah, I think he's good. But
that's a normal receiving core these NFL quarterbacks work with. Those 3 bums.
Like I said, I'm curious to see the props. Hey, Jalen Guyton's got some speed. He did bust open the defense against the Bengals, I think, once. And Mike Williams has got anything he wanted against fucking Eli Apple. They could do whatever they wanted. I mean, I'm going to be interested in those receivers. I mean, it's not hard to be interested, but I can never get carried away. The good news is they got a good quarterback, and that'll be interesting. Eckler definitely gets a bump there. I'm kind of – yeah, if they're both out, how do you not play Eckler? You would line up at wide receiver a ton.
Yes. Yeah. I think he's probably gets the second most targets on the team outside of some random tight end or wide receiver. And let's just assume Mike Williams is in. How much does that really change for you?
I like him more because Mike Williams will be chalk. Personally.
Okay. All right. Very good. We've got the wide receiver position. There's a million of those every week. So, Title, who's your top wide receiver on the board as we sit here on Wednesday night?
Raw points or points per dollar?
Do both.
Raw points is Tyreek. There's no Justin Jefferson. There's no Devontae. There's no Cooper Kupp. Tyreek's the last guy in their own category. Is those 4 what I say. So it's definitely Tyreek. As far as points per dollar, I mean, if Keenan's out, Mike Williams is in, it's definitely Keenan, or it's definitely Mike, excuse me. Let's assume they're both out. Man, I'm just going to keep going back to the Print Fest and Hunter Renfrow at 6'1". Like, they should be trailing. They love Hunter Renfrow. The guy just keeps producing. So it's either him or Godwin. Godwin's so safe, and it's so safe in Tampa too. I like that as well. But Hunter Renfro's price. I mean, those are my 3 favorite receivers: Tyreek, Chris Godwin, and then Hunter Renfrow.
I'll get back to you.
Not saying you'll have all the money to play it, but those are the 3.
All right, I'll get back to you with more of those plays in a sec. RubioDimes, talk to me. Points per dollar, raw points. Who's the guys at the top of the list for you?
Stephon Diggs, Chris Godwin, and Cole Beasley. Yeah, why not? You throw out a white wide receiver. I'll say a white wide receiver. I think Cole Beasley is just 5K. We've seen him get double-digit targets in some games this year. Like, I'm all for it.
Yeah? You just want to go with Renfrow, Beasley?
No. I prefer the discount off Renfrow. I can save $1,100 for the same exact player.
So
Renfro.
points per dollar, $100 bet. You got BZ.
No,
I got
I'm
Renfro.
good.
All right. That's what I do. That's what I thought.
I do like the Renfro side just because without Waller, he was a target machine during that first and second quarter. It felt like so. I actually played fucking Mooney in my main lineup over Mike Williams and over Renfro. And every time Renfro caught a pass after Mooney did it, I just kind of cringed. I'm like, damn, man, that's just such a safe play. It really is. Like he'll get your 7 for 70, but I mean, it's not very sexy.
Cooper Kupp.
He'll get you more. He'll get you more than that.
Cooper Kupp is not on the slate, unfortunately. Is he? No. I would love to just play Hunter Renfro, Cooper Kupp, and Cole Beasley and just roll it out that way. And just make
Cooper
Big T
Kupp.
curl.
I
Big
played
T
Cooper
like,
Kupp and Renfro just printed. The Beasley a little more
Seriously.
risky, but I had him last week in cash on both sites too. Like
It's
those
fine.
dudes are studs.
They are. They sit there in a slot and and Kupp can really play anywhere.
Well,
It doesn't
Kupp's
matter.
really good. Renfro
he's-
just knows how to get open, run good
Yeah.
routes.
So let's talk about some of these top shelf guys. CeeDee Lamb. Can I interest you in him this week? Debo's probably going to be out. Diggs. We'll get some more talk on Diggs from Rubio in a minute. Godwin. McLaurin, very disappointing last week. Really thought McLaurin was going to blow up, and Heineke just couldn't get him the ball. That was disappointing. Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, Jamar Chase. Who else do you want to talk about, Title? Pick a guy or two out in this top shelf this week, because honestly on DK, there's not too many expensive guys. You only got 3 guys over 8K, and Debo's probably not going to play. So it's Tyreek and Diggs, and then it goes all the way down to 7-2 and Lamb.
That's what I mean. Like, that's why Tyreek's the easy raw points play, because there's no Jefferson, there's no Kupp, there's no Devontae, there's no Debo. Like, those have been the 4 of the 5 best receivers in football. Diggs, I love Diggs. I love his talent, but like, it's not the same offense that has been force feeding Diggs this whole year. Beasley, Manuel Sanders, they run the ball sometimes. I'm not going to go to Diggs personally, but I definitely get it. I like Josh Allen. I'd pair him with someone cheaper. So I love Chris Godwin 7-1, but if everyone's going to play him, I'm going to go Mike Evans at 6-6. I think he makes a ton of sense. He has a ton of upside with Brady. You got to talk about Lockett and Metcalf. I like Russ a little bit. They're going to be low owned in a dome against Houston. They burned me once. I'm going to go back to them again. Hopefully, I guess I didn't learn my lesson, but I'm not going to double stack it this week. Just going to single stack it. I don't know which one. I always lean DK, but Lockett's 6.7K. What's Metcalf? 6.5. Yeah, I'll probably trust my gut and go Metcalf, but 6.5 I'm good with. There's not really other pay-ups. Like,
They tried. Here's my concern with DK, and it's really driving me nuts.
Oh, is it Lockett? Talk me into Lockett then.
I'm not going to talk you into him. I might talk you out of Metcalf is the problem. And listen, I love this guy, but they went out of their way to force feed DK Metcalf last week, and it just didn't happen. Like, to me, physically, he's one of the top 3 or 4 wide receivers, maybe and all out there physically.
Easily.
They threw it to him 8 times. He caught 5 and he had 60 yards, and he can't find the damn end zone. So, and they threw it to him twice in the red zone. It's just, it's been very
just can't get an
frustrating.
easier matchup. Like, that's how, like, if they do that again,
You're right.
and force feed him, like, don't you think this, I mean, if he doesn't get it this week, if they pepper him, I don't know. It's tough.
I mean, Lockett's been getting peppered too, though. At least Lockett is putting up double-digit points. So maybe it is. Maybe Lockett is the way to go, but you got to think about ownership, right?
No, they're both going to be low owned. I just can't get.
Okay.
Oh, I literally just personally, which is wrong. I look at one species and I look at the other, and I just cannot get myself to not play them. But it hasn't worked.
The other guy I wonder is Mike Evans this week against Buffalo. It's coming. It's coming. I mean, he's had a couple close to 30-point games. It's happening again. The problem is you don't know when, but I got to have some exposure to him.
Especially because if Godwin's popular, Evans is such an easy leverage, especially if Fournette is, or like if Godwin is, then you go Fournette and Evans. If Fournette is, then you can you got to play some Evans. I agree.
Rubio, talk to me about Diggs first, and then give me some other plays that you're thinking of for this week.
I'm willing to do a same game parlay. I can't wait to travel to Indiana. I actually work in Indiana this week, so I can actually do it. I am going to same game parlay Josh Allen, if I can. I haven't looked at it yet. It's not allowing me to do it yet. Josh Allen over 50 pass attempts. So you think there's volume right there. I think, he threw 29 times in that fucking wind and snow. And if you throw enough incompletions, that clock stops and the Bucs aren't afraid to throw it themselves. I think this game could go well over the total, but I think Diggs just gets double-digit targets. It's the first time that we see him kind of explode in almost a calendar year. It felt like every week last week he was eating, and this week it's like we've forgotten about him, or this year we've forgotten about him. He is a top-tier wide receiver, and this is a matchup that is premium. It's a matchup that you want. It's a matchup that you need. And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. It hasn't worked out the last 2 weeks ago. It didn't work out, but I'm going to use it. Lock. All right.
Are you really going to
this week?
To make a same game parlay with Josh Allen?
Yeah, he'll get over 100 yards for Diggs, over 3 passing touchdowns for Allen, and I'll throw a same game parlay touchdown for Beasley, and I'll run it back with some Fournette and maybe Godwin.
You know my Venmo. Just save it.
What do you want to bet? Come on.
He's not. Well, you know what? I will say this: Week 1, he threw 51 times.
No, it's just.
That's an extraordinarily high number, though.
It is a high number.
It's astronomical. All right. I like it. It's bold. Let's go that way. You know, it's you're probably going to lose your same game parlay anyways. But
hold on here. Bold. 47 times in week 6 against the Titans. 47 times. Yeah. 51 times. 50? 47 times against Jacksonville. He gets this number. He gets into the high 40s more often than you think. So do 45 instead. Hey, I'm telling you, how much did Wentz throw against the Bucs a few weeks ago?
Well, I don't know, but I'm just saying. If I were you,
I'll tell you right now. Give me 5 seconds. He threw 44 times.
Go to 45. Don't do 50.
50. Fuck you, 50.
I hope you lose now.
I just meant Venmo. I just meant know my Venmo because all those things that you said, one of them's not going to happen.
Hey, I don't know if you saw, but that guy who put the same game parlay under on literally every single prop for receiving except Gabriel Davis, he won like $20,000 off $5. I was shocked. It was so sharp.
Oh, yeah, that's so sharp.
Sharp. I was mad.
25 grand.
Yeah, off $5 because he bet all the receiving unders except Gabriel Davis. It was absurd.
That's why you know what my favorite bet from that was? I just kept I think Coop did this too. I went from 34.5 to 33.5 to under 32.5, 31.5, and under 30.5. And I just kept cleaning up. It was amazing.
Jones.
Huh?
The Mac Jones pass attempts or the total?
No, you know what we did? And Tyler was on this. Tyler was on the under – maybe it was the Mac – yeah, it was the Mac Jones. He was on under 28.5 pass attempts. So I tailed him on that. And then I had another guy. There's another guy that I know that it's another place. He's like, oh, man, I can't believe that Mac Jones bet didn't cash. I'm going over. I said, what? When did you make that bet? He's like, oh, I made it like an hour before the game because I really thought Josh Allen – I says – dude, there's 50-mile-an-hour winds. You don't even need to be a handicapper anymore. Go into a different business. That is the worst bet I've ever heard.
As I saw a tweet with Bill Belichick before the game was literally wearing a Navy midshipman fucking mask, just foreshadowing what was going to happen. I just loved it.
And he had done this before. He was in another game like this, and they threw it like 8 times.
That's so
he's the fucking master. He's amazing. You can hate him all you want. He's the master.
And that's why Fournette should go off because the Bills knew what was coming and still couldn't stop it.
Right. So You're right. You're right. It's coming. Mari Cooper, I'll just bring this up. I think I played him one time this year, and then the Showdown. I might not have even played him on Showdown on Thanksgiving. Here's his history against Washington, the last 5 games since he came to Dallas. Andy Dalton for 2 games, 612-1, 7-80. Then 4 for 92, 4 for 44 and a touchdown, 8 for 180 and 2. So if you're looking for narrative street or history there, Amari Cooper, he does well once in a while. He does well against Washington. So I'm just going to throw those stats out at you. You can do what you want. That's fine. Going down lower. Talk to me about T. Higgins real quick, guys. I know everybody's on Chase. I'm a little concerned about the Burrow hand, the pinky thing, but T. Higgins has been his guy ever since they started, doubling or shadowing toward Chase. Can I interest you guys in T. Higgins? Either one of you.
Rubio's the Bengals guy. Go ahead, Rubio.
Come on, Rubio.
I mean, Higgins has definitely been the more favored target. Jamar Chase dropped an open touchdown last week, though. Chase has that upside. Chase has the guy who can get you 30. Higgins is more like, oh, man, he got me a touchdown. He finally broke 20 for me. So I think it's good leverage off Chase. But, I mean, Chase, that 30-point upside is just something to behold. And under 7K, there's good reason why he's chalk. And if Burrow's out there, he's healthy enough to throw the ball.
So Higgins is going to be a lot lesser owned?
Oh, it has to be, yeah.
Then
He's
give me
6'4"
Higgins
now.
all
He's
day.
not 5'5" like he was in the past.
Give me Higgins all day then, because he's getting everything. Burrow's just looking his way.
Neither of them will really be owned, I don't think.
Okay. Anybody else down low, guys?
Just monitor the Chargers news, the Guytons, the Palmers. I mean, if they could pop up.
I just like saying Lil Jordan Humphrey. I think all the broadcasters do too. I'm not saying to
Elijah Moore, 5'9".
He's questionable.
Especially if you play Taysom.
He's questionable, but if he plays, I'm with you. He's the only guy that gets targets, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's been printing. Brandon Cooks too. If I'm playing the Seattle stack, Cooks is obviously the run back, 5'7", still wide receiver 1. That's pretty much DJ Moore, 6'2". I don't know. I mean, I'm going back to it. Cam had him. Oh, he had a walk-in touchdown. If Cam hit him in stride, he had to slow down a little bit. That was what they had a bye week last week, 2 weeks ago. You just like picking on the Falcons. They stink. I think DJ Moore, Cam Newton stacks a little tasty. Cordero Patterson, that's a 2% owner, 2% owned. I think that stack has some potential.
Let's see here. Julio might be back. Westbrook Akini's not in the mix. Don't play Rashad Bateman. Just don't do it. I mean, I love the kid too. The upside just isn't there. He's not being put in the position where he can step up. So that's about it, I think, at wide receiver. So let's move on to the tight end position. RubioDimes. Rubio, Foster Moreau last week. Not a great play. When it was all said and done. But if Waller's out, don't we want to go back at least look at a little Foster Moreau or no?
Yeah, 100%. I said I would play him at 4.4. I was kind of wrong about that, but now he's 4K, and I can actually be a man of my word. We'll see if I'm going to be a man of my word at the end of the week. But I think you definitely got to entertain it. They were kind of controlling the game, if I believe, right? The Raiders ended up winning, right? I just want to make sure that my facts are in check.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And they kind of controlled the game. There wasn't much of a need to sling
the
the ball.
the Washington football team won that game.
Oh, well, fuck. Why are you nodding your head?
I was just nodding. I was talking to myself about Donald Parham at 2.8K and how I know one of our guys is going to have him in his core. So,
well, I will say Derek Carr dropped back 38 times and Foster Moreau only saw 3 targets. A little bit concerning.
It was bad.
So, I don't know. Obviously, early in the week, Dawson Knox will make the short list at 5K. I don't like these spend-up options a ton. Gronkowski finally sees the price increase. And if Darren Waller's back, it completely scraps it. But, I mean, George Kittle's still under 7K. The Bengals historically can never guard the tight end. It's just something that, you always have as a fan in the back of your mind. The Bengals cannot guard a tight end. And Kittle finally looked, especially without Debo, who was the main focus of their offense? It was George Kittle. And I'm kind of kicking myself because he was basically unowned last week. I like your Donald Parham and Jared Cook. I mean, if those guys are out, if Mike Williams especially is out, 3.2 for Jared Cook. I mean, it's going to be chalk. It's a good play, though.
Yeah, Cook is 3.2. Parham's 2.8. Parham just gets you whoever you want. And then the other guy, this is going to be gross title. You're not going to like this. But this guy had the worst game I've ever seen anyone have. Like fumbles at the goal line, dropping touchdowns, Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett had – he had 8 targets, 4 targets, 9 targets. And last week he had 6 targets. He caught 4. He should have had at least 1, not 2 touchdowns. They're taking on Houston. There's a guy I can get in on Seattle at 3.5. And now I don't know if I'm going to get there because Parham and Cook, and if Williams is out too, you really got to consider that. You know what, guys? Maybe they're in play even if Williams plays because Keenan Allen's out, and all of a sudden you're losing a dozen targets and they're going to go somewhere else. But I'll throw Gerald Everett out there too. Title, tight end.
I don't think we'll ever see a stat line he just had on FanDuel. He ended up with negative points and caught 4 balls. That is
That was bad.
I don't think you'll ever see that again in your life.
Wait, who did that?
Gerald Everett.
No way. How?
I just told you, ding dong. He fumbled at the goal line. He had another touchdown. It went through his hands. He forced 2 turnovers. He was in the end zone twice. He could have had 2 touchdowns. He definitely should have had 1.
Two fumbles. Two
2 fumbles right there.
Four catches for 7 yards. So
the fumbles were right. They were at the goal line too. That was the worst part. We're going, Gerald Everett, what are you doing? Because I had him in the 4 o'clock slate. I'm like, oh, this is great. Oh, Gerald Everett's gonna smash. You smashed my hopes and dreams.
3.5K though. Like, so I'm still gonna play one of Lockett or Metcalf if I'm playing Russ, but I do like double stacking. If Mike Williams is in and we don't have the Jared Cook or Paul, I mean, yeah, even if they're a massive chalk, I think double stacking and Everett being one of them. Yeah, they have the Bible narrative we talked about with Russell Wilson. He throws him the ball a lot. 3-5 double stack. You run.
What's the Bible narrative?
I
don't even know what it is.
Everett came there this summer, and Russell Wilson's very religious. Gerald Everett and him had Bible school pretty much. They sat down almost every day and studied the Bible together, read the Bible together.
Now I really like him. Now they're totally going to get it together. Because isn't the Bible about forgiveness? You have to forgive Gerald Everett for costing your team 14 points. That's it. Bible narrative. I'm in. Gerald Everett.
I mean, if you look at his, like, he was the leading scorer for Seattle against Green Bay. Like, he gets passes. Russell throws it to him. I think it makes sense. Jared Cook, Parham, if they are out. We talk about Rob Gronkowski price increase, but man, this Rob Gronkowski is healthy Rob Gronkowski. I mean, 6K, we love Tampa Bay. I like Buffalo. I'll pay 6K if no one's going to play Rob Gronkowski right now. He just feels safe. James O'Shaughnessy, 2.9K.
You don't need to.
You're shaking your head. I don't think
you need to.
Jared Cook, I think you just find the salary and go there. Kyle Pitts, 5.5. We're just waiting for one of these breakout games. I don't know. I like Gronk more for 500 more if I can get there. I doubt I'd pay 7,400 for Kelsey. And then, if Waller's out, I'm going to go back to Foster Moreau and take a chance. He had a goal line target. We saw what he did the other time that Waller was out. He's athletic. He's good. If everyone's going to be off. And if Hunter Renfrow is popular, you get leverage right there. Last thing, we didn't even talk on running back, though. Kenyon Drake broke his foot. Josh Jacobs is getting all the work, too. So I think Josh Jacobs makes sense at running back, too. This Oakland side has pieces.
Okay. Can I interest you in Rob Gronkowski, RubioDimes?
He's one of my favorite players of all time. It doesn't take much. I played him at, I think it was 5-4 against the Colts or something like that. Or 4, it might have been 4-4, but he is definitely what makes that offense click. Without him, Brady looks a little bit lost.
By the way, just go to Elijah Moore's Twitter page. He just came out with the best hype video. I think people need to start giving themselves more hype videos. If I wasn't so busy, I'd give myself a hype video. But yeah, he's got like fire coming out of his visor and everything. It's amazing. I'm all hyped up because of it. It was very nice. Just because we got a couple of minutes, defense, just pay down. That's it, right? Just don't worry about it. Pay down. If Williams and Allen are out, but we still can't go Giants, can we? I don't think so. It's unfortunate.
Don't play the Giants.
The Ravens defense is just completely decimated. Their secondary, now they're missing Humphrey along with Peters, and they got a safety that's down. You know what, though, guys? Lamar's looked like garbage the last 3
Browns
weeks.
Are in play.
At home against Baltimore, the way that Lamar's been taking sacks, throwing interceptions, why not?
No, Browns are definitely in play. I'm saying Lamar's also in play. Like, he's one of the few quarterbacks, like, don't play a defense against your quarterback in a big slate, but, like, there's possibility. It's worked out plenty of times. Lamar has a good game. The defense has a good game. You said he takes so many sacks, or there's opportunities for so many sacks since he dances around back there so much. So I like Lamar's upside for his rushing. I think he's a good play on FanDuel. I think the defense on DraftKings, 2.7K is a good defense. I mean, it's defense. You always fill out last. Like,
defense. Last.
If I had 2-4, like, sure, even Texans against Seattle. I'm talking about Seattle,
but that's cash, right?
Yeah, I mean, tournaments, how I like, if I can correlate my defense with the running back, I do that. I still pretty much, I mean, I only really 150. And if I do a couple single entries, yeah, whatever I have last, though, to be honest, like, I probably could play 2-4. Like, I'm not going to prioritize a defense. Are you this week?
God, I want to so bad, though, because there's three the Titans, the Saints, and the Broncos. Oh, my God, they're all set up in such amazing spots. But, like,
I mean, 3-6 for a defense, 3-7.
It's tough. 3-6, 3-7, 3-8. It's tough to pay up.
I guess there is no pay up wide receivers, really. We don't love the running back. I guess this week you maybe can.
Might be. Well, usually one of my lineups I'll pay up at defense just to get different because people aren't doing it. But there's three defenses that are just in smash spots. You'd think two of those can at least pay off. Rubio, do you have gas? What's up? What's with the face?
No, you're like, I really want to prioritize defense. Like,
no, I didn't say prioritize. I really want to pay up one time, though.
Well, okay. Like, hey, if your build takes you there, just play whoever fits, to be honest. But damn, 3-8, 3-7, 3-6. Woo.
They got to get you. They got to get you like 16, 18 points.
More like 11. I think if you get double digits, you're always in line, no matter what price you spend, because you can get 20 from a receiver's 4K.
And they're getting me. The Broncos are getting me 15 points.
Really? If you think that, man, I'd hit that lock button, huh?
I think they might get.
Don't be afraid.
You definitely lock 15.
Yeah, you definitely lock.
I think they're going to go. They're going to have a pick 6 this week. 8 sacks. No, I don't know what you said, but
can't you bet that?
Huh? Yes, I plan on betting a defensive special teams touchdown. Yes, that's going to sink my under too because I don't need them. Although you know what, the Chiefs scored a defensive touchdown.
You hit the under after you get the pick 6.
Then you bet the. All right, Title. Thanks, buddy. That's using your noggin. RPS Heater 25% off your first payment of a monthly installment. We got great stuff. NFL. We got NBA. What other sports are going on right now, guys? Soccer? You got the soccer, Rubio? Are we doing the MMA? What's going on here, boys?
Oh, MMA tomorrow. Wait, Saturday. Whatever the fuck that is.
Today's
I got a ticket. I got tickets for that. I can't wait to use the content. I can't wait to fucking build. I just looked down. I'm like, oh shit, I got 5 entries of this $25 thing. So I'm gonna be like, what's the top prize title?
250 maybe, 200 maybe this week.
Cool. I'm gonna split with 100 of my best friends, and I'll be like 4K richer on Sunday. It's gonna be nice. I can't wait. Like I kind of wanted to bring that up on the show because I haven't played MMA in a little bit because I've been working on Saturday nights. Back when I lived in my house in Newport, my roommates would always watch the MMA fights, and I felt obligated to play.
When do you have time to tear that ass up if you're working on Saturday night?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. It's called Sunday. It's the day of rest, and also the
day of rest. That's the NFL day. You don't like NFL. That's what drives me nuts.
That's not true. I've been watching a lot of the games.
Like you're good at it, but you don't like it.
No, it's a terrible fucking sport. Like if I didn't bet on it, I don't think I could watch it. Like, I'll tell you, I wanted to gouge my eyes out watching the Bills game. The Chiefs especially. The Chiefs pissed me off completely because Mangone and Bobby were like, oh, you do 4-2 Broncos. Like, what the fuck? And sure enough, the Chiefs just sucked and almost was a 4-2 Broncos. If it was the case, I wouldn't hear the end of it. But I can't stand it right now. The game's gone.
You're struggling and you hate it.
Yeah.
You won a tournament, didn't you?
Oh, I love basketball.
Oh, it was basketball. That's what it was.
I didn't do bad. I'm actually having a decent year, so I can't hate on it too much. But
Title, what's you say? This guy prints, that guy prints. Who's printing for us this week?
In MMA?
No, MMA. Football. MMA, football. Just give me somebody that prints this week.
Football. Man, we just did this whole I like this freaking Seahawks stack, but last time I did that, I still have nightmares from it. It's going to be 5% owned. I'm going to be on it again and just be a donkey. This time, at least it's in good weather and stuff, but that's, I guess, the winner right now. As far as actually Justin Jefferson on Thursday, freebie, play him in the captain, lock him in, just move on. Rubio, you're doing the playbook. You have one captain in your thing. You just Justin Jefferson. Save yourself some time.
Jay Jettas, baby. I mean, my God, what a machine.
As far as MMA, I mean, last week was a disappointment. I needed the favorite Rob Font for 30,000. I would have took second in the big one.
Oh,
debated hedging, decided not to hedge.
Oh,
The favorite.
man.
Yeah, he got his ass kicked too. So
What was the underdog odds?
It was only like plus 125. I mean, it
Oh,
wasn't.
man. Still,
And
that is so tempting. Holy shit.
It's a couple months ago. I needed the fight to get to the third round. My buddy, the dude got knocked out with 2 seconds left. That was a $60K swing. So I mean, it'll get there. It's close, but the show on Saturday, playbook and everything will be up. It's a pay-per-view. It'll be one of the best fights of the year. Oliveira, Dustin Poirier. It's going to be a lot of fun. Rubio's shadow boxing. I can't take him seriously. Sugar Sean O'Malley's on the slate. It'll be a lot of fun. Content will be up. Free YouTube show. NFL will be fun.
You can tell Rubio's never taken a fight class before.
I would kick your asshole and set it up.
How tall are you?
I'm taller than you.
I don't think you are. I think you're 5'8".
I think I'm 5'9" with shoes on.
Yeah.
You guys are both probably the same height.
Yeah, we're probably the same height.
Holding his ass.
Probably the same weight. What's your weight?
No, you are definitely not the same weight.
What's your weight? I'm 165.
No, Rubio is not 160.
No, I swear to God, it's terrible. It's all in the gut. I swear to God. I don't know. Whenever
You're
I tell
160?
160, no one believes it. But
I did not believe
You have a
that.
gut
on
too?
a scale. I'll step on a scale next show. And
I don't think you'd beat me, Rubio. You're smaller.
No one has seen my legs. My legs are huge.
My legs are skinny.
Yeah, I got huge like calves and stuff. I can't really show them here.
Yeah, that's
but,
good.
like I got calves and thighs. That's where all the weight goes to.
Can we use weapons? Because I have a shank with your name on it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll bring my AK. No, I'm kidding. I don't have.
That's not good. Don't bring an AR-15. All right, guys. That's when we know it's enough for title for Rubio. I'm holding. Simon, please get us out of here.
happening. It is a day that ends in Y, which of course means Run Pure Sports viewers are shipping on a Showdown slate. Last Thursday, DFS superstar Whistles Go Roo joined JSU and Big T on the Thursday Night Football Showdown show to talk about the slate, and he hit the nail on the head with a killer hot take.
I love the play of Taysom as captain, but put Dallas's defense also there. And I know that seems kind of crazy, and most people would think, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But can't you imagine one running touchdown, one throwing touchdown, but then a pick six for Dallas tonight?
His recommendation to pair Taysom Hill with the Dallas defense, along with JSU and Big T's call to pair him with Deontay Harris, was the winning formula to ship Showdown tournaments.
I remember tons of slates where the studs like Kamara, Michael Thomas, he just wouldn't get them as involved, and some of the lesser guys he would pepper, and one of them was always Deontay Harris.
If you couldn't tell, our hosts have been on fire recently with some great calls on our premium content as well as Discord, including Holden, who has been pounding the table with Matt Breida on Thanksgiving, as well as recent Eli Mitchell and Jalen Waddle on our Up to Lock show on Sundays.
Higgy, what do you think of Elijah Mitchell? I mean, personally, he's right at the top for me. I've got a couple lineups with Elijah Mitchell. When he plays, he gets the rock.
NBA is firing on all cylinders as well, with Bobby recommending a 1% owned 40 burger for Santi Aldama on our final countdown show Thursday night.
Is there a guy named Santi really in Bobby Gomes' core from You Better Relax, Bro?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad play. If he sees 17 minutes, they're kind of hurt. He's 0.94 fantasy point per minute play. He's a power forward. It's more of a large field thing.
Congratulations to all of our members on their huge wins, including E. Cunningham with his 560K hit on NFL Showdown, and Matt Ryan 858 with his 100K shipper on NBA. And huge shout out to our guy Tambo for coming in second place in DraftKings King of the Beach tournament. Tambo shipped 150K in week 13 with his Gardner Minshew lineup, so big congrats to him. If you are not subscribed yet, what in the heck are you doing? Join today with 25% off your first month with the promo code RPSHeater25. Make sure you check back soon for a huge announcement, and of course, run pure.